Good morning. This is Anne Marie Reynolds, and I'm the librarian at Newport Elementary School. And I'm documenting some of the things that go on as far as running a library. This is Monday morning, and I often go in early on Monday morning to turn on computers and to assess what's going on in the library. I also have to rectify my schedule of what I need to get done with what my elective team needs to get done. Let me find August. So, as you can see, these are not necessarily my personal things that I'm working on, like dentist appointments and stuff, but very often in a library, in a school situation, you are not solo. You are a part of an elective team. I'm part of an elective team, and we all have an agenda and a curriculum to go by. And while I would love to think that I could just be about library science, I have to find a way to make it all work. This is the second week of school. Um, I'm not exactly sure if the kids are going to be coming to the library. Most likely, I'm going to be coming to the gym to talk about book care and procedures. I like to do procedures for at least a month, especially with the little guys. So if I set them up now on the right path as far as what they're supposed to do when they come to the library, I find I'll have a much easier time of it as they come up through the grades. Um, I have certain policies in effect because of these crazy schedules that we tend to have. Normally, it's a two-book checkout for my library for our stacks, but because Mondays and Fridays tend to always have something associated with them, I have a three-book policy with Monday and Friday for first through fourth grade. Fifth grade has a three-book standing policy, two fiction and one nonfiction, or three nonfiction, depending upon what they need for class. This is just what I've come to. It's not a set in place policy for my school. It's just what I found that works. So this is Monday morning. Um, this past summer, the school underwent a renovation, and further in a video, I will show you my progress in getting the library back on track. Bookshelves were, though it took me 6 weeks to pack the library up, I only have a few weeks to put it back. So I find myself being physically fatigued. It's like a giant move. Books are heavy. Um, they took my bookshelves, they detached some bookshelves from the wall. I had sealed them up with paper and stuff, but they completely removed them from the wall. And I guess they boxed them up as they saw fit, so there's no telling what they are. Um, and I'll talk about my plans and my vision for the library that I currently have. Welcome to Newport Library. This is where I am at the moment. I'm in the process of putting things back together. As you can tell by the boxes and the missing computers, my computers aren't plugged in yet. Um, I'm still unpacking. My teacher zone is in disarray. And I can check books in and out, but I can't do my full lessons that I usually do as of yet. So I'm going to have to be flexible and figure out what I'm going to do, and I will take you on a tour when things get more manageable. Please excuse me, I am still recovering from our renovation. The carpet is gorgeous, but putting my library back in place has been most harrowing 3 weeks of my life. Anyway, so what I ended up doing is subdividing the library into a first through third grade section, a fourth through sixth grade section, which is generally my meeting area and where I do story time, and then a nonfiction higher level section and a teacher resource center. We're an older school, and we are tight on money, And so it's going to be a while before we get another school. So we have to kind of make the best of what we have. So when you come in, I color coded and turned the books out because I found that kids would wander and wander around looking at the spines of books and not choosing because they didn't find anything that struck their fancy. So I found if I color coded it, so green is third grade and higher, and made little subsections that the kids were more successful. I ended up putting series and baskets at the very top here because if you like one Magic Tree House book, you want to read all the other ones. So I put my series at the top, and they're color coded. They have the AR stickers on the side, but like I also had certain sections such as spooky. So here's my spooky area because my kids who love to be frightened all the time like to have books a certain way. And then certain things like Fancy Nancy or Junie B. Jones or sometimes superheroes. I put them all together because kids like what they like. And then I also have some sections just make it easier for them. These books in this section are all blue, which means that they are first grade level and they're appropriate for kids because we do not we test on Rigby, but we really don't AR test until January for them. So when they come in, they just need to know what kind of books that they can. So I say, hey, if it's yellow or if it's blue, it's for you. All right, and so I make very different. When they come in, I shift these carts around so that it creates a little area for them for first grade because first grade usually struggles the most with finding books. But I have a lot for them. And then I have through the after rezoning, we got our bilingual kids back. And the problem with that is I'd given all my bilingual books away to the other campus that were going to have the bilingual kids. So then last year I spent quite a bit of money trying to get materials for them. So I made this area for my bilingual books, and I have them in 3 levels: in first grade, second grade, and third grade. Fourth grade I have over in the other section, and I'll show you that later. But I wanted them to feel inclusive. I don't want them to feel unusual. Matter of fact, most of the time I have to run my English-speaking kids off of these books because they enjoy them so much. And if I don't have a shortage, I don't have any problem with checking them out to them. But, some classes come in and they need to have 2 or 3 books to master our language. Now, the rest of this section follows a Dewey Decimal System. It starts with the fiction. This is first through third, and it starts at the A's. And my A fell off of my screen that I use to direct kids. But I'll have that all put back together. As I said, this remodel has been something else. Anyway, so my A's start here, and they wrap all the way around. And they go all the way around to Z. Now, along the way, there are some favorites. So I created some buckets for favorites. Miss Nelson is a favorite. Berenstein Bears are a favorite. So I created buckets for them. Jan Brett's a favorite. So is Author. Author is my bread and butter. Kids still love Author. So that's a testimony to a great author. Clifford is still, I read Clifford, and Clifford's still hanging in there. Miss Cannon is still doing well. Pete the Cat is a new bucket for me. I've started to get, the bucket stays empty all the time, so I don't really get a chance to, that, like I said, it's very, very popular. All right, Tommy DePola and Miss Childs are also very popular, and Mr. Kevin Hanks is very, very popular. So I made a bucket for him. All right, Amelia Bedelia and Curious George are very, very popular as well, and Dr. Seuss is paramount. Now, one thing I did notice, and I don't know if this goes with another subject, I'll figure that out, is that, let me go ahead and I'll do it as a different subject. This is a segue from the tour, and I will edit it into the right place. But I found that every librarian has favorites and has contributed to this library. So sometimes we have a huge amount of certain series, and that they're not hot right now. They're not Diary of a Wimpy Kid. They're not 39 Clues. They're not hot, but they're classics. So I find that even though I talk about the Texas Bluebonnets and I book talk new books, I find time every week to book talk on every level our old series, because once you book talk it, it flies off the shelf. So Andrew Lost, and this was like My Weird School. That was how I learned that. I did my I did My Weird School for the third graders one year, and I can't keep him on the shelf. All right, and Zeke Meeks as an alternative to Diary of a Wimpy Kid. I book top Zeke Meeks, and unfortunately for me, not only did they fly off the shelf, they flied off the shelf without being checked out. So I'm down to about this many. I had 24, but not anymore. It's been 3 years. So continuing on. When you come to me, your class, you are going to line up in this hallway right here. See now how it says Miss Reynolds? This is where the line is going to be. This is where you're going to come in. But you're going to go out on the other side. Okay? So your teacher is going to come around the corner. You're going to line up here. Most of the times you're going to be holding your books. In order to hold your book, let me give you an example of how to hold your books. You guys have little bodies, and sometimes my books are big. So you're going to hold your book like this, across your chest like a hug. You're going to give your book a hug. That way they won't keep on doing this, falling on the ground. Because it happens, yes, all the time. They fall on the ground, okay? So which way are we, point to where we're going to be coming in. We're going to be coming in through that door. My lights will be on. I'll be ready for you. And then you're going to be going out the other side. Okay, so you are going to, when you come to see me, you are going to check out 2 books. 2 books for the week. 2. Unless you come on Monday and Friday. If you come on Monday or Friday, I'm going to give you 3 books. Now, I know you're thinking, why do they get 3 books? Because sometimes we have holidays on Mondays, and sometimes we have things on Fridays, and sometimes Monday and Friday kids don't get to come to the library all the time. Okay?
Cooper.
But if you're choosing Wednesday and Thursday, most of the time there's no problems. So that's why I want Monday. I'll wait, sir. I'll wait. That's why I have Mondays and Fridays get 3 books. Your books are going to have little blue books on the side. I'm going to show you those when you come to visit me and tour my library next week. They have little blue books on the side, so you won't have to worry. And I have a section for you where I'll have a story for you every week. Put your hand up if you like stories. Excellent. Okay, so we're going to be fine. So which way are we going to be coming in next week? All right, are we going to be coming in making all kinds of noise and talking and everything like that to the library? No. We're going to come in quiet. Because the number one thing you need to do is listen to the librarian. I will tell you what we're going to do. Right? We have a good time in the library. We make things, we read. All right? So I'm looking forward to seeing you next week. Thank you very much. Okay? All right, we're good. Okay, let me go towards the middle. Can you hear me back there? Put your thumbs up if you can hear me. On ways to take care of your books. The number one thing I think you need to know how to do is keep your books in your backpack. All right? Keep your book in the backpack. Can you repeat that? I keep my books in my backpack. One more time. I keep my books in my backpack. Let me tell you why. Why we do. Because sometimes, one, we forget that we have library. Sometimes we forget we have library and we don't bring our books to the library. But if they're in our backpack, Our backpack is with us at school, so we'll have our books with us. Number one. Number two, raise your hand if there are other kids at your house. Raise your hand if other kids live at your house. Put your hands up. If other kids live at your house, put your hands up. Awesome. Now sometimes our brothers and sisters, if we leave our books on the table, sometimes brothers and sisters like to color and write in our books. Right? Okay? So that's why we make sure we put our books in our backpack. Just in case someone in our house takes our books and colors or writes in them. Or, oh my goodness, uses their scissors in our books. Because we don't want to have to pay for a book that we can't keep. Alright? Now, please raise your hand if you have a kitty, a dog, or any kind of pet at your house. Thank you. Just put your hands up.
Guys, she didn't ask you to talk.
I know. Are we still talking? Excuse me.
Ooh, I love how quiet she's being.
Yes, thank you. So now listen. Our books smell like kids because kids check out our books. And pets love kids. Pets love to lick on kids, give you kisses, little licks and stuff like that. So if you leave your book out, your pet's going to come along and go, ooh, this smells delicious. It smells just like my owner. All right, and then you're going to come back to me and say, Mrs. Reynolds, he ate my book. All right, and then your parent will have to pay for that. You don't want that, okay? So keep your books in your... Excellent. Now, another thing, I'll wait.
Max.
Another thing that you need to keep my books away from is water. Water, okay? Because water makes my pages wavy. All right? Who are you talking to? You know my speech? Oh, okay. All right. It makes my pages wavy. Okay? That's all right. All right? It makes my pages wavy. And wavy, that means that the pages aren't flat and nice like they're supposed to be. Because this book got caught in water. Okay? Thank you.
Thank you for those that are sitting quietly listening.
I appreciate it. Now listen up. This is the number one reason why we don't want to get our books wet. Be careful. Get ready. This is ugly. This is ugly. This is what happens when books get wet. Quietly, okay? And no one else is talking. Shh. Okay? Are you going to read the story? Is there a problem? Are we on fire?
No.
Is anybody bleeding?
No, but why do you have that paper?
Because I like him. And he's good in my chair. And if I move him out of that chair back there, there's plenty of room for you all. All right, so this book I want to read you is called The Book with No Pictures. Do not worry. There's no pictures in this book. There's nothing for you to see. Awesome. Have a seat.
That book is so
All right. It is cool. It's called The Book with No Pictures. Now get ready. This is a book with no pictures. See?
It does have
No, no, none. Nope. It might seem like no fun to have someone read you a book with no pictures. It probably seems boring and serious.
It's funny.
Except, here is how books work. Everything the words say, the person reading the book has to say, no matter what. That's the deal. That's the rule. So that means even if the words say, Blark! Wait, what? That doesn't even mean anything. Blurf! Wait a second. What? This isn't the kind of book I wanted to read. And I have to say every word the book says. Uh-oh. I am a monkey who taught myself to read. Hey, I'm not a monkey. And now I'm reading you this book with my monkey mouth in my monkey voice. That's not true. I'm not a monkey. Yes, I am a monkey. Also, I am a robot monkey. What? And my head is made of blueberry pizza. Wait a second. Is this whole book a trick?
No.
Can I stop reading now? No?
I like it.
And now it's time for me to sing you my favorite song.
No.
A song?
It's gonna
Do
be
I
funny.
really have to sing a glug, 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 my face is a bug. I eat ants for breakfast right off the rug. What? This book is ridiculous. Can I stop reading yet?
No.
No. There are more pages. I have to read the rest.
Yes.
My only friend in the whole wide world is a hippo named Boo Boo Butt. Boo Boo Butt. And also, the kid I'm reading this book is the best person in the whole history of the world. Oh, really? And this kid is the smartest kid, too, because this kid chose this book, even though it had no pictures. Because kids know that this is the book that makes grown-ups have to say silly things. And make silly sounds like, oh no, oh no, here it comes. Grrr, gawaka, magrum, adu, ai, Groot, 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 woof, Eve, blaggity, blaggity, glibbity, gloppity, gloppity, glibbity, beep, whoop, Badungi face. Oh my goodness. Please don't ever make me read this book again. It's so silly. In fact, it is completely and utterly preposterous.
I will let you read it.
Next time, please, please, please choose a book with pictures.
No.
Please,
Never.
because this is too ridiculous to read.
Say no.
The end. Bonk. I didn't want to say that. This is a book with no pictures. Wasn't that good? I think so too. No, I can't. Guess what we need to do now? I'm so... All right, so this is Abby Mark. This is our PE teacher for Newport Elementary School, and she had a great question, so I decided to record it. I thought it might apply. All righty, go ahead.
Okay, Miss Reynolds. My son is in first grade,
Mhm.
and he is whipping through these
I know.
first grade
I
books.
see him every day.
So, how do I know if he's ready to move on to a higher than 1.4 or
Well, we're not testing. We only test every 9 weeks.
Okay.
But as long as he's reading 2 of his on-level books, you can try him a little higher on some other books.
Okay.
Something with a little more oomph to it.
Like,
a little higher, because
like maybe this one. This is like a 1.9 that has more.
Yes,
okay.
because he has his brother, and his brother's just off the charts.
Off the charts.
So then, because as long as he's fulfilling the ones on level until he gets evaluated again,
Okay.
go ahead and try him higher.
Try him
Especially
higher.
find out what he really loves. Is he he's not a nonfiction boy. He likes a story.
Well, he does. He's really gotten into these, like the Dixie and the Best Day Ever.
What about the Henry and the Mudge?
I don't know if we've read Henry and
these
the Mudge.
young Cam Jansen, these ones where there's like a mystery, he might be into that. He might try.
One of those and see.
Yeah, try one and see.
Okay,
Let me find you one that's like a 2.1 or a 2. Here's a 2.3.
Okay, we'll try that one.
Because they all can stand alone. But he might need a little bit more because he comes from a household of heavy readers.
Right. And he'll read through these books in no time.
You're gonna need 2 crates for vacation.
You're right. 2 crates.
She's a 2 crate woman.
2 crate woman.
All right. Thank you so much, Abby.
Thank you.
All right, this is me and Loretta Moore at the high school. Hi. And she's a master librarian, so I'm including her in the day in the life because I'm here because of practicum, and she's giving me all her extreme knowledge or significant knowledge. Okay, so after taking the short drive from the high school, and this is only because of the practicum, but I usually get here early. Um, I don't know of a librarian who can come on time, but most of the time you have to come early, turn on computers, check and see if anything needs to be shelved. I have a library squad, and they'll start arriving pretty soon, and these are kids from a 3rd grade up that I have trained in how to read and face the shelves and put away what they know how to put away. And then I always do the rest. I find that you have to shelve while classes are in here right after, or it will get away from you. I have made accommodations for my ESL students, as well as Mondays and Fridays students who always seem to get gypped out of a lot of library because of special programs and holidays. So, and if you're a 5th grade reader, I allow you to have 3 books. So that means there's a lot of book turnover in here. We have about 15 to 16,000 books in here, and it's not a huge library, but I like the kids to be able to experience the library and use it to their best advantage. As far as library squad is gone, that is almost like putting goldfish inside of a goldfish bowl. You add one at a time to see how they fit with the other ones. I brought little tiny guys in at the beginning because they had older brothers and sisters who were on my squad. So now I have these 3rd and 4th graders who are very, very knowledgeable because they came in as 1st and 2nd graders, and they had their older brothers and sisters to help monitor them. And I gave them the short stacks of nonfiction books to work on first that surround the desk right here, and I'll show you a picture of that in a little bit. But that was really, really advantageous because now they're older and they're much reliable. last year I suffered irreconcilable problems is because my fifth graders graduated and they usually check in and check out. And my fourth graders, my two families that were really solid, moved out of the district. And I had one fourth grader who didn't come back, and that happens. And you'll find kids who want to be part of the library squad, beg you to be part of the library squad, and get here and think it's a social opportunity. But we actually work here. I throw them two parties a year, a Christmas party, a nice lavish Christmas party, and a lovely end of the year party, and I distribute gifts. That always works. But they're very loyal and they're lovely. So I'll take a couple pictures of them in action. Okay, so one of the programs that I implemented was Flaming Hot Readers, and it has been a fabulous program. It has also been quite a pain. And what kids do is they can read 3 picture books and get an 80 or higher on their AR, or they can read 1 chapter book and get 80 or higher. And when they do, they fill out a form and they get a bag of Flaming Hot Cheetos. And the form looks like, oh, hold on, where's my jar? Oh, here. It looks like this, and they fill it out. And I pull every Friday. This Friday, a little girl in first grade won, and here's my jar. All right. So I spend a lot of time also helping kids find if there's anything unusual with their account for AR. I have kids right now who are working on AR tests because we have a little break in our library schedule because my projector is out. It's not working. Oh, and you remember Abby from the last time. These are how many chips I have left, and if you follow me, I'll show you the display that I used. I got it off of Teachers Pay Teachers, and it was really, really nice, very effective. I've had up to almost a year's growth on some kids during this program. It's only until the 750 chips are done. I decided to do order enough chips for every kid possibly to get one, but I've had repeat people. These are how many chips I have left, and if you follow me, I'll show you the display that I used. I got it off of Teachers Pay Teachers, and it was really, really nice, very effective. I've had up to almost a year's growth on some kids during this program. It's only until the 750 chips are done. I decided to do order enough chips for every kid possibly to get one, but I've had repeat people. Alright. Okay, so there is a break between third grade and first grade in the morning between about 15 or 20 minutes. But I find there's no downtime being a librarian, just to keep up with the sheer amount of books. I no longer have, due to budget cuts, and eventually I will be leaving the library in about a week. There is nobody, well, I'm assigned an aide to come between 10, 15, and 11 to help shelve books and do things like that, but she's always called somewhere else, so I never really see her. So it really didn't matter. I didn't get a chance to use the assigned aides to me anyway. Supposedly, if there is a sub here and she has extra time, they're supposed to send her to the library. But we're understaffed, and I never hardly ever see them. So so this is the break, and I'm unboxing my book it.
program, and that's for free pizza for kids who are reading their 20-minute a night. So that's what I'm doing with this little 20-minute period. I pretty much know this is a program I've done. I participated in as a reading teacher, and I've done time and time again. And so I put one of these packets in every reading teacher's mailbox. I also do the calendars so that the kids can check off their dates, and I put that in there. Let me see if I can find an example. No luck on the form. A lot of things are out of sorts because we had a major renovation this summer, and my book kit is trapped inside this computer. And as soon as the computer comes back online, I can print off a copy. But I did want to show you something that we do for all the classes, at least I create for all the classes. And this is an AR folder. I create them at the beginning of the school year. There's a week before they come to us. There's a week when they're in the gym, and that we handle all of their schedules and find out we spend a week figuring out how they get home on the bus. So this chart here, it has their name and their AR levels. We circle all of them, and they can also list the date they read the book, the title and the author, and their levels and things like that. And so they keep track of the books that they read on AR. So I make about 750 of these at the beginning of the school year. But I guess somebody else is going to be making these. All right, so that's one of the procedures that I do. All right, so this is another initiative I have. It's the Back to School a library card drive. At the beginning of the school year, an open house and anything evening event, I'm trying to link the kids to our local library so that they'll utilize it. I limit them to 2 to 3 books, but at the public library they're not limited by that. And I want to get parents involved with taking their kids on a regular basis to the library so they can explore those books that they're interested in all the time but are not necessarily their level, because I still need the 20-minute read a day, but they can read all the stuff that I won't let them check out. So I really push this. I run a contest. The class that has the most of these turned in ends up with a pizza party. I don't care if there's a tie. I will provide pizza for if 3 classes tie, then I will do that. Because I've been working on the school for so long, I only now have to handle first grade because most of, like if they're going to get a library card or they've gotten one through me, it's already happened. Before. So first grade is where I do my major pushing. First graders. So first and second grade open house is when I do this the most. Okay, and also I'm having my summer packets are being returned. I wrote a grant last year to encourage stopping the summer slide, and normally I distribute 6 books to each student in the school that I get with my second book fair proceeds. But because of the budgetary constraints and the disaster that was about to befall us, I used those books and bought books for the actual library, and it was the first time in 4 years I haven't distributed to kids for the summer, because I found that they came back so much higher having books in their house, going to the library, all the things I encouraged. And so I had another thing I put in place. I got a summer packet for every kid in the school, every grade. I used teacher-paid teachers to get them, and if they completed it, they were invited back to our back-to-school party, which was going to be pizza and prizes and stuff like that, and I had budget money in my activity fund to budget for it. But unfortunately, I'm not going to be able to do that. All our budgets have been frozen. And I have all my packets from my kids who did their work. I'm going to find some way to acknowledge it, either with prizes or a packet or something from me. And then, so I haven't put these away or gotten rid of them, because at least, say, about 40 kids did it. And so that's huge, and I'll take that. So if you've been coming here 6 o'clock, push up. I don't want anybody hanging back there. Everybody push, scoot up. Scoot up. And ma'am, I need you on your pockets so no, everybody can see. Why are we not scooting up? Why are you scooting back? Scoot up. You're going the other direction. Who's back there? Matthew?
No. Not Arna.
Sit down. Hold on. Let me see. It must be a very large mouse. Hold on. Come sit down with everyone else. Right now. Didn't you notice the entire class is there? Go sit down. Put your books on the table. And come sit down. That's too much time. Alright, like I said, this is the 6th week. By now you know what to do. Alright, thank you so much. Now, last time you were here, did I read Bob Not Bob? Yes. So this is the story that you missed. This was called Madeline Finn, the Library Dog. Did I say
Dog.
Dog.
Not
Thank
drog.
you. Yeah, it's dog. Okay, thank you. So, since you already read Bob Not Bob, I'm going to read you the one that the other kids didn't have. Ma'am, I don't need any help with the markers. I need you to listen to the story. Madeline Finn and the Library Dog. Now, listen. There's going to be feelings. Sit down, Sarah. Again. Sit down. Alright. If you feel the same way, but you don't want anybody else to see, put your thumb up and put it right here. Okay? And that way you can tell me, hey, that happened to me, or I have felt like that before. Okay? Now, if you feel like doing like this and let everybody know, that's your business. But if you just want to tell me, and sometimes you'll see me do that because I'll be like, oh, I remember that when I was little. Okay? This is Madeline and the Library Dog. I do not like to read. Not books, not magazines, not even the menu on the ice cream truck. And I especially do not like to read out loud. Keep trying, Madeline Finn, my teacher says. But sometimes I can't figure out the words. Sometimes the sentences get stuck in my mouth like peanut butter. Sometimes people giggle when I make a mistake. And I never get a star sticker from my teacher, not even a smiley face. Please put that up. Instead, I get a heart that says, keep trying. I get a lot of keep trying stickers, but I want a star. Stars are for good readers. Stars are for understanding words and for saying them out loud. But I know what else they're for. Stars are for making wishes. So I make a wish for my very own star. I guess wishes take a while because I don't get my star on Monday or Tuesday. Keep trying, my teacher says to me on Wednesday. On Thursday, I say this frog's name wrong. It's Samuel. I try to get away with Sam, but it doesn't work. Friday is no better. On Saturday, Mom takes me to the library. Hello, Madeline Finn, Mrs. Dimple says. She's our librarian. I don't like to read, I remind her in case she forgot. Oh, I remember, she says, but today we have something special, something you might enjoy. Madeline Finn, would you like to read to a dog? Mrs. Dimple leads me over to a big white dog. This is Bonnie. Why don't you pick out a book to read to her? She's a great listener. Bonnie is beautiful like a big snowy polar bear. Would you like to try? Mom asks. Yes, please, I say, but not very loud. At first I'm nervous. I get the letters mixed up. The words don't sound right. But then I look at Bonnie, and she looks right into my eyes. She doesn't giggle. I feel better. I try again. Halfway through, I get stuck on another word. Bonnie doesn't mind. She puts her big paws in my lap and lets me pet her until I figure it out. After that, Bonnie and I read together every Saturday. It's fun to read when you're not afraid of making mistakes. Bonnie teaches me that it's okay to go slow and to keep trying, just like the sticker says. I still don't have a star, Soon it's almost time to read in class again. But when I go to the library, Bonnie's not there. Neither is Mrs. Dimple. Would you like to wait for another dog? The other librarian asks. No, thank you, I say as politely as I can. Don't worry, Mom tells me later. Bonnie was just busy today. But what about school, I ask. You'll do fine, she says. Just pretend you're reading to Bonnie. On Monday morning, I am very nervous. Madeline Finn, would you like to read next? The teacher asks. Yes, please, I say, but still not very loud. The first sentence goes pretty well. Then I mess up on a word, and then another. I hear someone giggle, but then I think about Bonnie. I take a deep breath and pretend she's right next to me. Next thing I know, I'm at the bottom of the page. I look at my teacher and she has a big smile on her face. I did it. I got my star. On Saturday, we go to the library again. Mrs. Dimple is back. I got my star, I tell her. I want to give it to Bonnie. Well done, Madeline Finn, she says. I think Bonnie might have a surprise for you, too. All right, I'm going to take 4 people to tell me what they think the surprise is. I'll start with the boy. What do you think the surprise is? That she's going to get to take Bonnie home? Ooh, that's good. Okay, girl, right there. What do you think? Maybe. I'll take a boy. Back there, sir. Yes. You're not sure? Okay, next time. How about you, sir? What do you think? Oh, like kind of like what he said. All right, ma'am. Oh, you changed your mind? No, you have an idea. What do you think? You think the dog has puppies now? Let me see who's right. Oh my goodness. Who is right? Yeah. Madeline Finn, would you like to read to Bonnie and her puppies? Oh my goodness. Yes, please, I say, nice and loud. So that's why she was gone, because she was having puppies. I thank you for, you guys have been like the best audience. Okay, now hold on. So now we're going to go get our books, and let me show you what we're going to do this time. Wait a second. I know I have a color sheet. It has a beautiful girl on one side. It has Big Hero 6 on the other side. It's got something for everybody. And if you like to color girls and you're a boy, that's cool. If you want to color Big Hero 6 and you're a girl, that's cool too. So what we're going to do is we're going to have the girls go first this time because the boys went first last time. So that means, I didn't say move. So that means the boys are going to get a coloring sheet. When I tell you, it's boys, you got to get your ears listening. When I tell you it's time for you to look for your books, that's when you're going to do it, okay? Now, girls, I need you to give me 15 seconds to get the first grade area ready. Are you okay with that?
Yes.
Okay, so when I say 15, when I get to 1 is when you stand up and no one's running, no one's racing. Chill, okay? All right. Oh, I'm already set up. 15, 14, 13. What's next? 12. Thank you. 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Girls, stand up. Girls, stand up. All right, come get your books, girls. Go get your books. Girls, go get your books. You're not a girl. Girls, go get your books. Boys, stand up, please. I need a line right here. I know. And I've got some new markers to get out too. I know you watched that. Okay. for a class I'm taking.
You said Fortnite?
Oh.
Oh, I love Fortnite.
And I don't think they know what first grade always looks like. I wanted them to hear. Yes. Yes, you may. Near the gym. Do you know how to get there? Okay, go ahead. All right, sir. Whose class are you in? Miss Taylor's last name? Okay.
I only like big books.
You like big books?
And sometimes little books. Oh, have you seen the bugs in the zoo?
Whose class are you in? Miss Martinez, what's your last name? Aiden? Uh-oh. 46206. Keep your hands to yourself and turn around. You turn around and you keep your hands to yourself. You're not allowed to do that at school, okay?
That's Goosebumps. I never watched it. I saw it on the on the blue bus in the movie.
Whose class are you in? Miss Taylor? What's your last name?
Hey Justin, what are you doing? I'm looking at how do you know? He just said it.
What's your last name? Egbert? I found you. All right, baby, you're missing green eggs and ham. Which two of these do you want?
I need to keep up with you. Wow.
There you are. Green eggs and ham. It's orange. All right, sir. Whose class are you in? Miss Taylor's. And what's your last name? Mejia? Are you new? Oh, you might be. Have you been here longer than a week?
No, longer than a week. First, I don't know.
Let me look for you.
I think it's the first time
We'll see. Keep your sir. I'm not going to tell you again to keep your hands to yourself.
I'm in 7th. Yeah. I'm still new.
One of my duties is also to turn in book orders that involve a child bringing cash to school. I hate to tell you, but we had an incident. So now this is part of my duties to order Scholastic, more Scholastic than I already order. So I do book orders. I wait until and I place an order every Friday. What's up, Noah? Why aren't you at your 20-minute read, honey? Thank you for the hug. 20-minute read. Just talking. Hold on. I'll be there in a second. All right. Very often I repair as I see it and I label as I see it.
because there's just no time to fix things. At the beginning, at the end of the day, it's just always so frantic. There's always something going on. So today, since my projector is down, and so the lesson is delayed, I'm going to label and repair a few books. All right, so this is the, well, I'd like to say it's the end of the day, end of my day as a librarian, but it's not. I'm still putting stickers and labeling on books. A lot of the times I have to do all of the labeling because we're constrained by money and our budget, and I love when we get to buy books that have the full library experience, and all I have to put on them is the reading level at the top, and then drop that mark thing and haven't. But unfortunately, the past couple of years, my budget has dropped from $8,000 to $1,500, which, you know, of course, is Destiny Fall and the movie license. But my principal has been scrambling to get me money, and sometimes I've got a little Title I money to buy books sometimes. But unfortunately, this is my last week in the library. We have had a budget. It's almost criminal. We are $5 million in the hole, and because of that, I'm leaving the library and returning to the classroom. So I'm graduating just in time to no longer be the library at Newport Elementary. So this is the last day, and I'll add all the other things that we've done into this video. Thank you for watching.